Good afternoon, everyone. We are right now at the Grey Machine uh, from your favorite radio station KKW. Today, we're talking about something that is very interesting, a topic that for me is very important for the British history. We are going to talk about the Tudor dynasty. Basically, the Tudor dynasty was an European royal house that ruled the Kingdom of England from 1485 till 1603. Henry the Seventh was the first monarch who ruled, being a Tudor. He was a descendant of the House of Lancaster. The Tudors rose to power after they won the Wars of the Roses. 5 Tudor monarchs ruled England, but in order to go deeply this topic tonight, we have two special guests.
Andrés Castelblanco.
And Julian Silva.
With them, we are going to analyze and to describe the situation that England lived in that time. Okay, right now we are going to start talking about the War of the Roses.
Well, to begin with, the War of the Roses were a series of dynastic civil wars for the throne of England between the supporters of two rival branches of the royal house of Plantagenet, the Lancaster and the York house, whose symbols were the red and rose and the white rose, respectively. They were in war between the year of 1455 and 1485, but there were other clashes before and after this period. Henry the Tudor got the victory after defeat the last Yorkist king who was Richard III, and to the objective of reconcile the two houses, Henry married Elizabeth of York, daughter of Edward IV. Then the Tudor house ruled England and Gales for 117 years. The first combat between them was the Battle of St. Albans, where several Lancastrians died, but in spite of this, their heir kept on a deadly combat with Richard. Margaret of Anjou encouraged Lancastrians to contest York's influence. York and his supporters were forced to leave the country, but the Earl of Warwick invaded England from Calais and captured Henry at the Battle of Northampton. In the year of 1464, Henry was captured once again and was killed in the Tower of London, ending the direct line of Lancastrian succession. Excuse me. Finally, Henry Tudor defeated Richard at Bosworth in the year of 1485. He was crowned Henry VII, and as I mentioned before, he married Elizabeth York in order to unite the two houses. Well, let's talk about Elizabeth York to continue with this interesting topic.
Well, after this, I am going to talk with you about Henry VIII. Well, my partner said, Henry VIII was the first of the Tudor dynasty who got the power, but actually he was from the Lancaster dynasty, but he founded the Tudor dynasty. The second thing that I can tell you is that he recovered the nation's finances, because at that time England was in a really bad moment talking about money, so he recovered the nation's finances. Sorry. The third thing is that he is the father of Henry VIII. About him, I can tell you a lot of things, but I am going to be really specific about this topic. He was a really important person for England and for the world too. Um, in order to start with this history, we have to take into account that he was forced to get married with a girl called Catherine of Aragon, um, but he didn't love her. So after a short time, he decided that he wanted to get divorced from her, and he wanted to get married with Anne Boleyn. But at that time, the church had a lot of power in all Europe, even in England, so it was impossible. The church told him that he had to be married with Catherine until the end of his life. So he take advantage of a movement that is called the Reformation, as we know. The Reformation is against the Catholic Church, so he took advantage of that, and he said that he was going to be in that movement, that he was going to be in the Reformation. So he became the United Kingdom became it took them into the Reformation. So this was a really important topic because he got two objectives. The first one is that the church, the Catholic Church, at the time didn't have more power over the king, so he was the only one who had power. And the second thing is that he could get the divorce, and he could marry with Anne Boleyn. But this thing brought another problems, like a civil war between the Catholicism and the Protestantism in England and in Scotland. Well, I think that that's all. Well, sorry, I was forgotten something. He all his life was trying to have a son in order to continue the dynasty, but he couldn't. He once he had one, but he died when he was 16 years old. So he couldn't had a son. That's all.
In order to complete this information, well, we might said that Edward VI, the son who ruled just 6 years because he died pretty young, he had a problem with the succession power because he was quite of a Protestantism guy. He wanted to give the powers to someone who share these principles, and so he was a small boy with a big mind, desperate for Protestant succession. He changed his father's will to allow Lady Jane Grey to become queen, but Lady Jane Grey, she could rule only 9 days because Mary the First make an arrangement in order to get the power. Okay, now talking about Mary the First. Okay, Mary meant a change in the religious field since she took the kingdom to a Catholic way again. And her attempt to do that, she killed over 300 Protestants. That is why she gained her name of Bloody Mary. She's also remembered as someone pretty cold. Now, the next queen was Elizabeth I. Well, this is very the most important part of the history because she was pretty important, but is before, I mean after the Henry VIII reign. When Elizabeth came to the throne, she reestablished the power of the Protestantism and she basically encouraged the kingdom to explore the American continent. Actually, the state of Virginia was named in honor to her, due to she was known as the Virgin Queen. During the reign of Elizabeth, England passed through a time of enlightenment. For example, William Shakespeare and Marlowe belonged to this time. The Elizabethan time is considered as one of the most successful periods for this for the British history. Despite this fact, Elizabeth thought that having children was an obstacle to rule, so she decided not to have children. In consequence, she was the last Tudor who ruled and the end of this dynasty. Okay, that would be it for today. Keep in touch with us. See you tomorrow.